Rodgers and Tom Brady will face off on Fox this Sunday for the first time as NFC opponents. Between the two of them, they have 22 Pro Bowls, 7 Super Bowl wins, and 5 MVPs. While Brady has the edge in Super Bowl rings, Rodgers has always been known to have the more gifted arm. Fox Sports NFL analyst Michael Vick joining us this morning. Mike, it is great to have you. So, in your opinion, who has been the better quarterback, Rodgers or Brady?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady has been the better quarterback over the last, I think 15 years, man. His resume just speaks for itself. We don't have to state the obvious, the 6 Super Bowl rings and appearing in 9 Super Bowls. Even the years that he lost the Super Bowl were all good years. But when you peel back all the layers and you look at both of these quarterbacks, I think you got to break down, how they got to this point where they at today. And, for Tom to not have a true number 1 receiver, I think other than having Randy Moss and Deion Branch for a couple years, and then that all faded away, he still was able to find ways to get it done with Danny Amendola and Wes Welker and guys like that who was just able to fit into the system. And I won't say Tom was a system quarterback, but Tom made it work how he was asked to do it. Rodgers, on the other hand, he had Donald Driver and had our colleague, Greg Jennings, for multiple years. So, he had his opportunities, had his chance to get it done. Now, while he did make it look good in terms of style points, I got to say that Tom Brady was the better and most consistent quarterback over the years. Super Bowls aside, Tom made it look, he just looked a lot better, making it happen and doing it.
For me, better and most accomplished are entirely 2 different things. It's hard for me to see a scenario in which the roles were reversed, that Aaron Rodgers don't have at least that many, probably more. Because if you look at completion percentage, yards per attempt, you look at touchdown to QB, touchdown to interception ratio, you look at QBR, Rodgers blows him away. It's not even close. Now, you look at and Skip loves playoff, but if you look at Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, his defense has been worse in the playoffs than the Cowboys are right now. Mike, you know how bad the Cowboys are. So just imagine you go into the game and man, if I don't get to 41, we're losing today. Just let that sink in for a second. You are a quarterback, and if I don't score 41 points, we're going to lose. Huh?
Yeah.
No, he's had 1 top 5 defense, and the year he had it, he went to and won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's had 8 of those. Tom Brady's had 16 top 10 defenses. Twice, his defense has given up 37 or more points. That's what Aaron Rodgers' defense average giving up in his losses. Wow. In 41 games, you've given up 37 or more points twice. And Skip Bayless thought the sky was falling because his defense gave up that to Nick Foles and Philly in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers' defense gave up 51 to Arizona, 45 to Colin Kaepernick and that 49ers team, 41 to Matty Ice, 37 last year to Jimmy G. Skip has little to zero respect for Jimmy Garoppolo, and they got 37. Eli Manning, he called Eli Manning the most luckiest quarterback in the history of the game. They got 37 against Aaron Rodgers' defense. That talent, Aaron Rodgers is more accomplished. He's won more. But the better of the 2, nah.
I want to thank Michael Vick for bringing some real perspective and some clarity and some sanity to this show, because the man across from me emanates nothing but straight Brady hate. He just can't stand it that Tom Brady has consistently been better than his man Aaron Rodgers.
No,
and I love the conclusion that Michael drew right here on this show a few minutes ago. He said, if you want to give the style points to Aaron, give them to Aaron. I got that.
Yeah.
That there have been many a quarterback come down the pike who had bigger, better arms than Tom Brady has had. Many could make throws Tom never dreamed of. Some of the Jeff Georges and Kyle Bowlers.
Stop that.
You stop it. In the end, Brady has risen above a defense that hasn't always been stellar. He never had the 2000 Ravens. He never had the 85 Bears. He didn't have the Steelers steel curtain defense or the Dallas doomsday defense. He had pretty to very good defenses, except when he really, really needed them. So what do we know about Tom Brady? He got to the biggest game on the biggest stage in the sport, and he won 6 rings with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter and overtime. That is off the charts great. That is game over great. And he also should have won a 7th Super Bowl because against Eli in the first Giants Super Bowl, Tom Brady did what he always does. He drove them 75 yards in 12 plays, hit Randy Moss, those few moments that he had Randy Moss, for the touchdown that put them ahead 14-10 with 2 minutes to go. And Belichick's vaunted defense allowed Eli to go 83 yards in 12 long, excruciating plays and win the game 17-14. That cost Brady a ring. Then against the backup quarterback for Michael Vick's Eagles, Nick Foles, for whom Shannon has little to no respect, Nick Foles put up 41 points in a Super Bowl because Belichick in part benched Malcolm Butler, who'd played the most defensive snaps of any player, and he benched him for the whole Super Bowl, and you give up 41, while Tom Brady was throwing for a playoff record 505 yards and scoring 33 that should have won him his 8th ring. So don't give me Hall of Famers on defense because they really had one, and it took 5 ballots for Ty Law to get into the Hall of Fame, and Brady had him for his first 4 years.
Well, that's all Aaron Rodgers had. When you look at it, all he's going to have is the dude from Michigan. What's his name?
From Michigan.
Yeah, the DB.
Yeah, I got it.
Charles Woody. Yeah. So he has one.
Okay. Yeah, he's got one.
But look, Skip. See, the thing is, Mike, what you're doing is that you look at and say, well, he doesn't have a number 1. But in that system, the Welkers, the Edelmans, the Amendolas, the Troy Browns, they work perfect. You look at Aaron Rodgers. Yes, but Aaron Rodgers has thrown 2 touchdowns to wide receivers that were selected in the first round. And that's Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis is like 6 months younger than me. And I'm 52. So he got 2 touchdowns to him. Donald Driver was not a high draft pick. Greg Jennings did go in the 2nd round, but you look at the guy, Valdez-Scantling. Skip is undrafted. You look at Lazard, undrafted.
When you look at Aaron Rodgers' talent, he was able to make guys like Greg Jennings and Donald Driver even greater. They was already great. He made them greater. So I think that should be equivalent to more opportunities and more championships. I think when you look at it, defensive side, both of these quarterbacks was equal and had opportunities to go to the big dance on multiple occasions.
Which one had Belichick?
Tom showed up, and Tom got there, and Tom won 6 of them.
Which one had Belichick? Skip
I said defensive side.
Oh, no, you can't put that because it's a team.
You end up where you end up. You land where you land.
Look at Coach.
That's not the quarterback's issue.
Tom Brady went down 28-3 to the Atlanta Falcons. In the next 34 minutes, his defense didn't score. The offense didn't score points for the Falcons. But that's all Tom Brady. You see what happens when the defense give up points in the fourth quarter against Philly? Yeah. They gave up 8 points. They lost. They gave up no points against Seattle in the fourth quarter. They won. They gave up no points in the third and fourth quarter against Atlanta. They won. But you want to leave defense aside, Mike? How?
Shannon, look, at the end of the day, man, when it was time to show up in that Super Bowl versus Atlanta, Tom Brady showed up, man. And I think that was his defining moment. Yes, he's had some great moments. That was his defining moment.
Wow.
To GOAT status. And you know about GOAT status.
Mm-hmm.
You know about GOAT status.
So in other words, Hightower hitting Devontae Freeman missing the block on Hightower. Matt Ryan is about to throw a touchdown because the guy's wide open. They fumble the ball and get the ball back. That's Tom Brady. Coach Belichick didn't have nothing to do with it, pitching a shutout for 34 minutes in the game. That had nothing to do with Coach Belichick. These 16 top 10 defenses, that ain't got nothing to do with Coach Belichick.
Man, I wish I would have had a top 10 defense at some point in my career. I mean, I would probably had a ring on my finger too. I just know how hard it is to get one ring. And I commend Aaron Rodgers. I think he's one of the greatest talents to ever line up behind the center. because of his arm strength, because of his accuracy, the ability to throw the ball from anywhere on the field to anywhere on the field.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of his greatest assets.
Let me ask you a question.
But
Can Tom do that?
It's got to equate to Super Bowls, man.
Can Tom do that?
Super Bowl.
No, that's not necessarily true. Because if you just take a guy and say, well, the guy won.
Tom could do it when he was younger.
Tom couldn't do that. Tom could never throw on the move like Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady ain't never changed the arm angles like this kid can.
Two different quarterbacks.
You're
talking
35,
two different styles of play.
36 now.
Just stop doing that, Skip.
One guy's more of a slight dual threat than the other, but hey, that's just how they was.
Tom Brady's just a threat. He ain't no dual nothing. He ain't no dual threat. He ain't no dual citizen. Tom Brady is just a threat. Throwing the ball threat.
He's saying that Tom's the GOAT, man.
No.
Regardless of what.
Oh,
regardless of how it got done.
But
regardless of how it looked.
I'm not arguing that. I mean, hold on. I thought you can't lose in the Super Bowl to be the GOAT. Because that's what Skip told me about LeBron. The reason why LeBron can't be the GOAT because he lost in the finals. Well, Joe Montana's unbeaten untied. But even if I concede that to you, even if I concede that Tom Brady is the GOAT, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's better. Because I believe...
What are you talking about?
No, let me finish. Let me finish. I believe because Aaron can do more things. And stop bringing up Jeff George and Kyle Bowler because they don't even need to be brought up in quarterback discussion. In this situation, Mike, is that Aaron Rodgers, because across the board, in every stat, completion percentage, QBR, things that matter when Tom Brady had a better QBR than Aaron Rodgers, now it doesn't matter. Completion percentage, when it was better than Rodgers. Now that Rodgers is better than him across the board, that doesn't matter. We just going to go with wins. No.
Here's all you need to know. In conference championship games, Aaron Rodgers is 1-3, and the one was pretty lucky. He barely survived the Bears at Soldier Field when Caleb Haney took over for Jay Cutler, who wound up pumping the exercise bike because he had a sprained knee in the second half. Caleb Haney almost knocked Aaron Rodgers out of the one and only Super Bowl he went to. And in that game, Aaron Rodgers had 0 touchdown passes and 2 big interceptions, one by Brian Urlacher that nearly tilted the game.
Can we agree with this? He was an onside kick away. A guy does his job. Aaron Rodgers is in the Super Bowl. Can we concede that? Can we concede that, Mike? If the guy just blocks his guy, he's not supposed to back up.
It shouldn't have come to that. Aaron Rodgers was horrible in that game at Seattle. Horrible.
Skip man's on a bum knee.
Horrible.
That bum knee, the bum knee guy that beat your guy. He beat the Cowboys the week before on a bum. He had a calf. He had pulled his calf.
Yeah, and Dez caught it.
No, Dez didn't catch it.
Yes, he did. So in the end, you look at what has Aaron Rodgers done in his 4 championship games, NFC championship games. He has an average QBR of 58 on a scale of 0 to 100. That's just barely above average. That's ordinary. I'm sorry. When the money is on the table, your guy is not nearly as clutch as Brady.
But we're going to talk about
opportunities, man.
No,
he done had opportunities.
Give him Coach Belichick. Give him Belichick. You see what Mike McCarthy's doing in Dallas?
Give me Belichick. I wish I would have had Belichick.
Okay, then.
I might have had a Super Bowl or 2.
Yeah,
but that's just not the case, man. You're not defined by stats. Stats don't catapult you into greatness. Rings, man. Shannon, I gotta speak from a personal perspective because I tried for years and years. You got 2, Shannon.
3.
You know
but I don't even keep up with it. 3.
It's like, bro. That's the only way I can define this. It's the only way I can define it.
More accomplished, no question. Better of the 2, A-Rod.
That's just silly.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's hate. It's hate.
Wasn't as accurate.
Yeah, who hates Tom Brady?
Who hates Tom Brady?
Everyone around here doesn't agree with you. I agree with Mike. I agree with
Don't do that, Jenny.
You're on your own. You're on your own.
That's okay.
Mike, please do stick around. I would love your thoughts on Andy Dalton. How far can he take the Cowboys this season? Next.
No mercy.